Hello, I'm Frinky, and today is a special day. Today I'm announcing work on a new/existing title. Now, in the description will be a link to a poll, and it will also be in my Discord. Vote whether or not this should be a new title or if it should take the name Despair. Basically, Despair was a massive game, like way too massive for me to make alone. It would have taken years, and when it was finished, it would have sucked and not ran well. So I'm shrinking the idea and taking inspiration from other games to make it work. Now, here's a general gist of the game: a third person survival roguelite where you progress through procedural levels where you must enter and eliminate all enemies at an outpost. For each enemy you kill, you earn money. If you die, you lose half of what you've earned and whatever's in your hand. If you win, you get to keep all the money plus a little extra payout for your troubles. The game will feature survival elements such as hunger, a persistent clock, scavenging, and crafting. Players can craft primitive weapons and low quality ammo, but if they want higher quality things like military equipment or higher quality ammo, they must purchase it. A few other things you can do to make money is to do extra missions that the player will get when they go into a raid, such as go undetected or find a certain item, etc. And the player can also participate in a trial where they must beat 5 consecutive, extremely difficult raids with no breaks to shop or refill supplies, meaning the player must scavenge and make do with what they have. If a player dies in the trial, they lose everything on their player. But if they win all 5, they get a massive multiplier on their profits. The multiplier will change and get higher the more trials you do, but we'll set it at a rough number of around 20. Between raids, the player will be in a physical menu where they can walk around to different services such as a shop, cooking station, or etc., and can store items in a global inventory. Now, another question for you guys, which will also be in the description, is should items you buy take time to be delivered or should they immediately arrive? I'm not sure, so I'll leave it up to you guys. Now, what progress have I made in my initial week of work? Well, I've created a slightly decent AI, although it's a little bit aggressive currently. Let's go into more detail on how the AI works. The AI has 3 to 4 states: roaming/patrolling, finding cover, retreating, and firing. It can fire and run at the same time, mind you. I used Unreal's EQS system to help the AI find decent cover positions. It'll actually allow for different cover finding methods depending on variables such as how many friends they have, its class, or anything. If the AI sees the player while finding cover, it will fire at him. AI bullets deviate from the target, and this value will change depending on the distance to the player and how long it's been looking at the player for, and a few more. The AI spots the player in a similar way that of Far Cry, where a spotted bar will build up, and if it reaches 1, they're alert. There is also no UI for that currently, and it'll take further testing to see whether I should directly copy Far Cry's white bar thing that happens when you're getting spotted. If an AI is injured below 50 HP, it will look for a position to retreat to, positions where it is furthest from the player and it cannot see them. The AI will still attempt to shoot them while escaping. You might have noticed the wonderful animations. Well, unfortunately, they're an asset. Advanced Locomotion System V4 is free, and if you're interested in using it, it's in the description. I'm using it for this prototype because I don't see a way of doing animation better than it, or even matching it, so there's a chance it will stay. The character models are also quite nice, but they're also an asset. And you might be wondering, why am I using so many assets? Well, that's because developing a game like this solo is pretty difficult. If you limit yourself to not using assets, it'll probably not go as well as you're hoping. So at some point, I'll probably replace them, but for now, they're the only way. And 3D models are probably not my strongest point. The second system I've been working on is a grid-based inventory. You might remember Despair's grid-based inventory, but you couldn't drag items around. With this system, you can. Right now, you cannot pick up items, but that should be ready by next week. Currently, its functions very basic. It will get better. This is just what I had done. That's all for this week. Tune in next week to see the progress, and if you want to do that, you might want to subscribe. And if you want to see it immediately when it comes out, you might want to hit the bell or even join the Discord, like 2,000 other smart people. Link in the description. Later.